of this Sunday's all-new episode of When Calls the Hard. Paige is a DIY that will definitely add some real pop to your viewing party. You see what I'm talking about right here, everybody?
That's right. You know what we are? Hardies.
Yeah.
Because we're fans.
That's exactly what's going on here.
And I love when we get to meet the people and then we get to watch them. And I was going to tell you
lucky.
that all of this was inspired by episode 2 of When Calls the Heart.
Yep.
It airs this Sunday at 8/7 Central. And I was inspired because in the episode, Rosemary advises Clara and Jesse on wedding plans. I used to be a wedding planner, so I'm pretty much Rosemary, basically.
You're very good at it too. I've seen photos. I've seen photos.
And I think right now at weddings, it's so cool to have like little snack stations, like hamburger stations, donut little stations. But for our viewing party for When Calls the Heart,
yeah.
I think we do a popcorn station.
We do a popcorn station, but this is not just anyone. This has got such a cool When Calls the Heart rustic feel to it. And it starts with these great rustic kind of slats that go on an existing table. So it doesn't matter what your table necessarily looks like, because you are going to give it a great little makeover. Now, tell me about these guys right here.
Okay, these planks I actually got at the hardware store, and they're called reclaimed, but they're really not. Like when you cut them, you can see that they're painted.
They're distressed looking.
They're distressed, but you know what? They are good on the wallet. They're a good price point.
Right. Well,
because if you, real reclaimed wood is actually quite expensive.
And you see what's happening here, everybody? This is literally getting put together with a little bit of hot glue and no measuring. No, you don't need any squares to get it all perfect.
Which way should we go?
Exactly right. You choose. I like that way. Yeah, I like that way.
Because, you know, really, we're thinking about 1910. That's when Calls the Heart is set. So all you're really thinking about is what was going on back then. Maybe they didn't have, you know, the straightest lines. But anyway, to move this along, you can just keep going on. Yeah. Keep going along.
And then on the top one, you want to make sure that you have a way to connect this, correct, Paige?
I'm just going to set this here.
Your existing table. And you might be like, oh, I don't want to ruin my table. I don't want any screws or anything in there. So what do we do?
What do we do? Oh, Velcro.
Yeah, that's genius.
Oh my gosh. So I was thinking, like, yes, I want to reuse these tables. We use these tables all the time here. So I want to make sure that I didn't ruin things, I wasn't screwing stuff in. So it's as easy as getting the hook and, what is it, hook and nail? I don't know. Velcro.
I'll let you take that. I'll just say the Velcro right there. But by the way, everybody at home might agree with this too. Like, this is the kind of thing, these details, the hot glue and the Velcro that makes this so user-friendly is going to be the difference with some of us making this or not. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, this is literally something that you can do in a flash. It's going to look great. Boom, you got the Velcro.
Yep.
And you put it on the table. So, this is something you peel off later.
And this is a good trick to do, put both sides on at the same time, then peel it off. Because if you put one side on the place you want it, one side on the thing you're attaching, a lot of times they won't match up. You're making sure this is going to match up perfectly. And then we are just going to set this here.
Your fingers are stuck in there.
My fingers were stuck,
And then boom, you've got the table laid out. Now tell me a little bit about the sign here that you've also got to help really seal the deal.
Oh, the sign is so much fun because it looks like, you know, I was up all night making this.
Yeah.
No, you buy it at the craft store.
It comes already pre-made, but you did the little design on front.
I did the lettering, and you know, sometimes I say do the lettering yourselves or you can get the letters.
Yeah.
I say with this, because we're making it look rustic, do it yourself. Because even if it's not perfect, it's going to look better.
It's going to work.
Yes, it's going to look more rustic and official.
You could use probably a thick Sharpie for that. You could use a little paint and paintbrush. Either way you want to do it. Okay, so we've got this table. I'm going to start loading this with snacks. And while I'm doing that, speaking of snacks, we've got to move over to this great popcorn display. We've been talking about it all day already. Tell me about what you have there and how this all comes together.
Okay, so these are just little bushel baskets, which are so adorable by themselves. All I'm going to do here is, you could set them here, but I'm actually going to attach it so that popcorn sits below it. You want to make sure that you're not pushing it in like this because not much popcorn will stay.
Gotcha.
And you want to make sure you're not setting it like this because it's going to fall off. So all you need to do is kind of wedge it in there and then just put a dot of hot glue up top.
And that's just keeping it in place. But let's say we want to use that fantastic ladder another time. You'd be able to pop those baskets right out, correct?
You would, yes.
Okay.
Because you know how hot glue works. Whoops, I shouldn't have hot glue around.
It's quick, but it's not the strongest.
And actually, could you hand me some of the popcorn?
You go ahead and fill that up. Now, as you're doing that,
will you put this on the back table?
I sure
feel
will.
like we shouldn't have it around the licorice.
Check out this little snack table that we got going on. We got the popcorn displayed nicely. Paige has got those baskets locked in. But you don't want like everybody's hands going in and eating the same popcorn that you're eating. So I love this little detail here. This really I mean, this is the kind of detail, I think, in my opinion, that sets this apart from something else. You know, you've got these great
take that off.
Yeah.
So that's a C hook that you were just touching there. All we did is, you can find these online. You can also find them at the craft store.
Okay.
Make sure that they have a hole in them, and then I've just used a little bit of leather lace. This is called leather lacing, really, for shoes. And I just tied it around. You can see I just used a knot. I added a little bit of hot glue to this knot just to make sure that it wouldn't come out, because if people are taking it, putting it back, you want to make sure it stays. So you can hang that back on there.
You just get some regular cup hooks or
little C hooks or cup hooks,
yep.
and that's exactly, they're called C hooks or cup hooks because you hang cups and they look like a C. And so all you have to do is screw those in. So that is really the only thing, and I didn't even use a tool to do that. I did that with my hands.
The same idea for the sign, and then we have to tie it all together. This is one of the aspects that I really liked about it. You've got this great rope, too, which brings us back to the time of When Coals the Heart.
Yes, the early 1900s. I feel like if you wanted friends, you had to lasso them.
And is this an idea just to kind of tie it all together? In other words, connect it like that?
Well, I just love the look of this, you know, and you could add a little bit more. You could go a little girly. You could, you know, add lace. You could add ribbons. But I love this, and I love just the rope. We always see them out there with their horses.
No.
So that is just bringing your eye up to the popcorn, and you can hang this on. It kind of looks like we wrapped it all up, but this is, I just faked it.
You just faked it.
Yep, and I hung it on another C hook back there.
Like that? Just in there? Something like this? As I'm letting it all come apart like that,
It doesn't matter
Paige.
if it's messy, though, because it's rustic.
And refreshments, and then the bowls for the popcorn. You've thought of everything, and I'm so incredibly impressed, everybody. You know where to go for full instructions. Hallmarkchannel.com, and be sure to tune in to an all-new episode of When Calls the Heart. It's happening this Sunday night on Hallmark Channel. We're so excited.